And welcome back to another episode of The Four Line. My name is CJ.
Your amigo, Brandon.
And we are joined by a special guest today. We have Patrick Hennessy from Unhinged Yankees. Patrick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Doing all right. Not bad. Not bad. We got some encouraging stuff regarding the lockout today, which we'll get into. Thank God, because that's been a pain for everybody. I know, like, fellow content people like you, I mean, it's just been how tough has that been? Like, honestly, just not being able to really do much whatsoever.
Miserable, bro. Like,
miserable.
Literally the definition of misery. Simply because, I mean, but also at the same time, it's kind of exciting because I'm opening myself up to new fields. Like, dude, I don't know about you guys. I was never the biggest football fan coming into the lockout / offseason, whatever we're in now. I have found myself invested, like, emotionally, mentally, physically in all of these NFL playoff games. Like, I'm watching these games, bro. Even if I don't have money on them, I'm invested like it's the MLB postseason, dude. And also, I'm getting into like UFC. Like, dude, so while MLB is kind of just like on the back burner right now, as far as like content creation goes, I think it's cool to kind of like open yourself up to like different interests around this time.
Yeah, like we watch football. I mean, I'm a Jets fan, so there's nothing for me to watch right now. We watch these playoff games are nuts. And then we went to the Knicks game the other day. We've been watching basketball quite a bit. But Brandon, how you been?
Keep yourself busy.
Yeah, exactly. But Brandon, how you been doing now? I mean,
I'm chilling. I had COVID.
Oh,
I was on COVID IL. Jeff passed and reported it.
Yeah.
I had it during Christmas and then New Year's. So I spent my New Year's and Christmas in my room with COVID. Kind of sucked, but I didn't really miss out on anything because this all season just feels like a blank. Like, I just really forgot about baseball, to be honest.
But
like,
you're right.
Ridiculous at this point. This should have been solved already.
Exactly. Like when we saw like the Mets getting Scherzer and Marte, that feels like ages ago. For some reason, that just feels so long ago. But this lockout's been taking forever. But something that we like to do before the episodes tends to be the fit of the day. So Brandon, what do you got going on today?
I just came home from the gym, so kind of got on still my gym fit with the white tee. Just
a nice hat. The hat.
Haven't worn fitted.
I mean, it's the basic sweatshirt. I was like, what do I wear for this today? I mean, I just found something, and I've worn this. I don't think I ever wore this hat on a video. I know Brandon's worn this hat because I bought it off him, but it's the pink lemonade Yankee fitted. You'll love to see it. Patrick, what do you got on today? I have that same hat actually. I have the same one.
First of all, I really like this segment. Okay, I've never seen a show that has a segment. Big fan, dude. Big fan.
Everyone says that. I love that.
Bro, I got the pink Unhinged shirt. Shout out to Unhinged. Great.
Check out the shop.
I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Yeah,
I got the Yankee fitted 96 patch, bro. And we got a rose on the back. I don't know if you can see it, but we got the rose on the back. Bro, I like the fit of the day. Big fan of that. I might steal it. Just saying.
Hey, man, you might as well. I mean, like, I feel like every time we have a guest on, like, they just compliment that. It's something I find interesting. Yeah, it's just adds a little. What'd you say?
It was like something that we always did because I would always come in like with crazy fits. I mean, obviously, I like my hats and my shoes.
Yeah, I could tell in the background. I mean, you used to wear like sunglasses, jerseys all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, now, they're like, oh, well, this is the off season. I don't really wear jerseys much in the off season. You see them hanging in the back. I got that stand one for Christmas. But anyway, so getting into the baseball aspect, well, we don't have much baseball to discuss, but we're going to try and make the best of it. So we got some good stuff here, though. Jeff Passan reported today that the MLB and the Players Association meeting that took place earlier today. Today's Monday. You guys are seeing this on Tuesday. So this took place on Monday. It did indeed go well, which is quite surprising, not going to lie to y'all. And they will be talking and having another meeting again tomorrow. So that is encouraging stuff. Very good. And I know a lot of people are probably concerned about this. The release of MLB The Show will not be affected by the lockout. Who knows if the lockout lasts like months and months and months, MLB The Show will be out before then. Minor League Baseball will be implementing robot umpires in AAA this season. Now, I want to pause real fast, and I want to ask you guys about this. I know, Brandon, I can see you look stunned right now, bro. you look flabbergasted when I said that.
I don't even know how these robot umpires work.
Bro,
Elon Musk is like putting chips into people's brains, and now we get robot umpires. There's a metaverse coming out. Yo, we're literally living in the future.
Honestly, like But I'm confused what robot umpire means. Does that mean like an electronic strike zone? Or does that mean like a physical robot chilling behind home plate? That's what I
would
don't
assume
understand.
electronic strike zone. I don't think
what I
we're
assume
that
too.
far into the future where there's going to be like robots behind the plate, but you never know. You never know.
Bro, that would be wild. I mean, imagine you're just like chilling like a close plate, the plate, and you just like slam into like a robot, just like standing in front of home plate. Like, see, the thing is with the
some hazard there.
yeah, like I don't mind the electronic strike zone. I was an avid supporter of this for quite some time. We talked about this in the past, but you have to have an actual present umpire because the electronic strike zone can only tell you balls and strikes. You need the actual umpire to like determine calls of the plate, stuff like that. So, I mean, but it also is a benefit because you don't have strikes a foot out the zone being called pitches a foot out the zone being called strikes. Angel Hernandez, I am directing my attention towards you at the moment. If you're watching this, just know that you're terrible at your job and you suck. Anyway, Carlos Correa switched agents. This is big news as he is now being represented by the one and only Scott Boras, who is the big guy in baseball. He's Garrett Cole's agent, big guy across the league. And this is something Scott Boras. And this is something I find very stupid. The Rays' proposal to play half their games in Tampa and half in Montreal was shut down by the MLB. Why was this even a thing?
Why are the Tampa Bay Rays still in Tampa?
Move them into Vegas.
No,
that's it.
No, move Oakland to Vegas. Why move Tampa to Montreal? Because Tampa Stadium, that's not even a stadium. That thing looks like a freaking microwave.
Bro, it looks like a UFO, like of some kind.
Wait, but why were they going to play half of their games in Tampa and half in Montreal? Like, why not just commit to one?
Exactly my point. Like,
why not?
I don't, bro. As much as I love to like clown on the Rays because they're an absolute clown show. Like, when it comes to the front, well, I wouldn't say like front office. When it's not baseball operations like related, they're an absolute clown show. Like, I know, like,
wait,
oh my
aren't
God.
they building a new stadium in Tampa?
Well, they've been trying to, but they just keep saying no. that's why this whole Montreal thing came out of the blue.
That's psychotic.
No, it's weird, right? Like
The hell?
It's just something bizarre. And the last bit of news we have today, this was regarding Yankees fans. Home opener tickets go on sale tomorrow at 12. So if you're watching this right now, go buy your tickets because it's Tuesday and this will be. Oh, and my light just went off. But we got to fix that. But yeah, buy your tickets. Me and Brandon, we buying the tickets tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm buying tickets, but they're probably going to sell out and probably be extremely expensive because they're versus the Red Sox. If we even get to the point of there being an opening day, because this lockout just keeps going on and going on and going on. And it feels like a fart in the wind, to be honest. Like,
I'm optimistic at this point, man. Like, I'm somewhat like cautiously. I'm cautiously optimistic. All right. So speaking of the lockout, Brandon, we have some news on that. What do we got over there?
As previously mentioned, Jeff Passan reported that the meeting that took place with the MLB and the MLB PA came close to a no deal and was reached, and nobody really expected a deal to take place. The Players Union made a pretty good broad proposal that included removing some aspects of its prior offers. Now, to be honest, I still am very confused why there are two separate things. I understand it, but like baseball is not that hard of a sport. You got 3 strikes,
Thank you.
4 balls, and home runs and hits. What's so big? What's a big deal about there being a whole lockout? Like, yeah, I'm gonna protest. I want 2 strikes and I want 3 balls.
Can I give you a very simple answer? I'm going to give you a very simple answer, and it's one word.
Let's hear it.
Money.
Thank you. It's
the
honestly
world revolves around money, bro. It has nothing to do with the rules and everything else. Everyone just wants more money, and like that's what this is. That's what this is going to keep coming down to, and that's why I'm not even paying attention. What happened?
Insert Mr. Krabs meme. Money.
No, literally, and that's why like I'm not even paying too much attention to like all the lockout news and all the discussions and whatnot, because at the end of the day, it's not going to matter unless they do come to an agreement. And I don't care about the news until we get news that there is an agreement, because all this other stuff, bro, it's just smoke and mirrors. So until they do come to an agreement, all this means nothing to me, if I'm just being honest.
Yeah, like I personally, like I just think it's all money and greed. That's all this is about. Specifically like on like I honestly I just cannot stand like owners of half these teams. I'm a avid Hal Steinbrenner critic, as we all know, if you guys watch all the prior videos. And if you in the end, the only people that are getting hurt is us, the fans, and people like us. I mean, the players could go play. We
but
want
also at the
to see
same
the
time,
players.
yeah, I think the sport as a whole loses significantly as well. It's not only the fans, but I also think it's the growth of the sport because I consider myself like a diehard baseball fan, right?
Yeah.
And I look at myself and I'm like, yo, usually in the off season, I'm somewhat interested in baseball, right? Maybe I'll watch like past highlights or old games just to kind of keep myself enamored in the sport. I haven't done that at all this off season. I've actually found myself looking into other sports. Like I said,
Me
I'm
too.
going into UFC, like football, whatever. And the fact that I'm kind of like losing interest in baseball as a whole, and I don't really care when they get this agreement done. It just it makes me wonder like what the casual baseball fans are like right now. They probably forgot baseball as a sport even existed. So if us as diehard fans are kind of just forgetting about the sport, not really caring at this point because of all the greed and whatnot, I can only imagine what is going on the casual side of people who maybe are 50-50 as to whether or not they're an actual fan of the sport.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's gonna suck too? I guarantee you ticket sales are gonna be down this year also.
For sure.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Yankee Stadium was down last year.
Yeah, the people that Patrick was saying about how the avid consumer, like that was all right on and off, that cared about baseball, they're not going to care anymore because, especially if the season gets delayed, that's the worst. Because here's the thing, you're going to lose out on ticket sales, you're going to lose out on jersey sales. Yes, you're asking for more money, but you're going to end up losing money. So how does that make sense?
Exactly. And that's why I don't understand why the owners are like such fight with everything. Like, you guys are getting the money, like the fans provide you the money. Like all of the money that we put into the Yankees goes into like Hal Steinbrenner's pocket for the most part. Big Girl Scouts. Shout out to the Girl Scouts. Good cookies as Brandon is consuming them right now.
Woo!
The 4-line supports the Girl Scouts. That is a good cause. Anyway, we don't support Hal Steinbrenner and his money schemes. But the thing is, like us fans, we give this guy like we put in a ton of money, like go to games, buy merch. Like you see all the stuff behind me. Like I bought all this stuff. The games we went to, we bought tickets for all those games. If the 50, as you said, like the casual 50-50 baseball fan, they're probably going to be driven away by this. Like if there's a delay in the season or if there's no season at all, like you're going to have like empty stadiums. You won't be seeing like people walking around with baseball jerseys. And the thing is like, with the younger generations, like our generation, like we try and just promote the game and try to grow the game of baseball. And that's essentially our goal. But for like younger fans, like younger than us, who are like, oh, so interested in football and basketball is just the thing. Like they run football, like football and basketball is just the sports amongst younger kids. If you don't like, baseball needs to be in that mix. And having a lockout and having things canceled and postponed and delayed, it just throws it out the window, if you know what I'm saying. Like as you were saying, like I haven't watched too much baseball highlights over the offseason, like this offseason. I got into basketball again. I'm a big Knicks fan now. We went to the game last week. Fun times. Even Brandon's getting into the Knicks now, which is good. But yeah,
don't the Knicks suck?
They're all right. I mean, they're like average. I mean, they're like a 500 team, so they're not
like
great.
The Yankees, basically.
Essentially, like they were supposed to be good. Well, right now we're tied with Cleveland at half, so the Knicks were supposed to be good. Now they're like, and then the Yankees were supposed to be good, and they were terrible in my standards. But this lockout is just gonna kill baseball if it actually happens, and like if it just continuously just goes on and on and on, but. They are meeting again on Tuesday, which is a promising sign because I think it's a disgrace that they did not have a singular meeting for a month span, like from the lockouts begin to like 2 weeks ago. That's just horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible on all levels, but there's obviously still a lot of work to do regarding the lockout. And honestly, like, I just hope it ends. There's nothing else we could possibly say at this point.
Who doesn't?
Exactly. But anyway, speaking like on life after the lockout, Hopefully that comes soon. Let's talk about some free agency stuff. So that is still a thing. Free agency has not officially died yet. So we still got that. But could Freddie Freeman become a Yankee? This is a topic that people have been talking about recently. And he is not like there was reports like, oh, he might be pissed off for like the lack of urgency with the Braves not re-signing him immediately. I see you guys both seem to like that statement. Brandon, what do you got? What do you got here? Like, what are your thoughts on Freddie Freeman potentially becoming a Yankee?
I just think it's funny because you got a Rizzo jersey.
Oh, it's funny. I got a Rizzo jersey for Christmas, and then now the Yankees are probably gonna get a new first baseman.
Nah, to be honest, I don't really care. I mean, great if they do, but that's less money for Correa.
That is true. Patrick, what do you think about Freddie Freeman?
I'll tell you what. Freddie Freeman, I think he would be that guy. I think like you look at all these free agents, you look at all the trade targets. I think while Freddie Freeman is a very there's a very low chance of that happening. I think that he would probably be the guy who would make probably the second biggest impact on the team after Carlos Correa. I think he's definitely above Matt Olson as far as like impact goes, but I definitely think he's less likely for sure.
Yeah, I think he's better than Olson, but I feel like Matt Olson and just Rizzo are just like the two like most realistic options.
Yeah.
I mean, Olson's available for trade. I mean, Oakland's going to ship out everybody. Rizzo's a free agent who shows interest in coming back. But now, like, as you mentioned, Carlos Correa, Brandon is a big Carlos Correa guy at this point in time. And it's funny because both of our opinions completely changed on Correa this offseason. So, Brandon, do you think the Yankees genuinely have a shot at getting him right now?
Here's the thing, and I'll tell you what. It's a good sign that Carlos Correa now has the same agent as Garrett Cole.
Ooh.
So, I say, boom, Yankees have the money. Ship him out to New York. I mean, he was in New York recently. Even though he was shit-talking Derek Jeter.
I don't like that.
You're
not
a
a fan.
bozo for that.
Derek Jeter, the GOAT. Best shortstop of all time.
I still want Correa, the cocky ass, in New York.
No, I love Carlos Correa's attitude. Like, I love like the cocky ass attitude he brings on the field. And I know that's controversial amongst people. I love it. Like, I love players like that. I just enjoy watching players like that. It just makes the game more fun. But there, I know all the Mets fans are gonna love this statement. Derek Jeter is the best shortstop of all time. I know the Mets fans.
I disagree with that.
Really?
I disagree with that. Yeah. You know who is the greatest shortstop of all time?
Who?
Alex Rodriguez.
Oh,
that's just a fact. Jeter was not even the best shortstop on his own team. That's just a fact. There's no debating that. There's no denying that.
That is the hot take. That is a hot take
on the Yankees. Yeah.
I could see that. Brandon wasn't thrilled with that. I could see the reasoning behind that.
That's just a fact. I mean, here's the thing, right?
Bro, I mean, A-Rod in the 2000s. Woo, something.
Dude, I don't think there's any denying that, like, when the Yankees acquired A-Rod, obviously it was going to be tough to move Jeter from shortstop. But if you look back on it, I think the Yankees probably would have been best suited making A-Rod their shortstop because he was, at the end of the day, a better all-around player than Derek Jeter. It's just a fact.
Damn, like I never really thought of it like in that like perspective because A-Rod always played third with the Yankees. He played short with the other teams, but dude,
yeah,
A-Rod gets too much hate. Like I genuinely believe the Yankees should retire number 13 for A-Rod.
Bro, it made me so sick when they gave Gallo number 13.
It pissed me off, bro. It made me upset.
So sick to see the disrespect A-Rod is getting as far as Hall of Fame voting goes, bro.
I know.
David Ortiz at this rate is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. A-Rod might crack 30% if he's lucky. But yo, the disrespect A-Rod has gotten, not only like I get a lot of the shit that people talk on A-Rod is kind of deserving with the steroid stuff and the other stuff that went on during his career. But I don't think you can look past the talent and the numbers and the presence that he brought to the field. If you look at that Yankees team during the 2000s after they acquired A-Rod, I want to say that there was no more feared hitter in that lineup than Alex Rodriguez. Jeter was cool, bro. I don't think there's any denying that, but he was no A-Rod. He just wasn't.
A-Rod was like
Cool.
the man.
Every time I thought of A-Rod, I think of the fight in Boston when he was cursing out. He was like, "Fuck you."
Oh,
He
with
was the
Jason
guy,
Varitek,
bro. Like,
he was the
Yeah.
man, bro.
I hate to say it. I'm like, listen, dude, I like Jeter. Jeter's cool, but especially like me growing up, like my first season watching baseball was like 2007. A-Rod was my guy, bro. Like,
I feel like a lot of people say
A-Rod,
that.
A-Rod just
He
had
also
that
pulls J-Lo.
presence.
Yeah,
Bro, A-Rod's the man. Like, I don't
A-Rod
care what
is
anyone
the
says.
man.
Half of the Yankees fan base hates him, but A-Rod is my man, and he will always be the man. Just
See, like,
saying.
as an analyst, A-Rod, no bueno, but A-Rod as a person, like I love A-Rod, big A-Rod fan. I mean,
Yo, while we're on this topic, can I
Yes.
bring up something that I actually despise?
of course.
The whole ESPN Manning cast idea, but with
You don't like
A-Rod and K might be
Really?
the stupidest thing
Yes.
of all time.
I agree.
I was thinking about, thank you, Brandon. Thank you. I was thinking
Damn.
about this the other day, right? The Manning cast, great idea, right? It's Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, two NFL legends, they're brothers, bro. Having them sit down for like a watch party to watch a football game, great idea for an alternate broadcast. But for baseball, if they're looking to do that to grow the sport, the last two people that you need is Alex Rodriguez and Michael Kay.
I
Alex
agree.
Rodriguez makes sense, okay?
Michael
Global
K.
name.
Not.
He's an A-list celebrity at this point, right? If you wanted to get someone who can counter A-Rod, kind of like how Eli Manning counters Peyton, and also reach out to a more diverse group of baseball fans rather than just Yankee fans with Michael Kay, even though half of the Yankees fan base hates Michael Kay, so you're not really gravitating towards that side of the fan base either. You get David Ortiz.
Thank you. Yes, I was thinking of that.
Fantastic connection. They're on Fox together all the time with playoff games and the pre and post games or whatever they do on there. And he's also an MLB legend who will probably be making the Hall of Fame this year. And you're also able to grab that entirely different fan base, Red Sox fans and also everyone else, and just have an awesome dynamic on that broadcast. Horrible idea.
It's funny though, because I was thinking of like David Ortiz along with A-Rod. Like when you were like making that statement, I was like, because imagine how cool that would be. Like two people who were like known rivals, like on the field, but they get along very well at Fox. Like I don't know if it's a hot take amongst people. Like I don't know how people feel, but I feel like the Fox, like the pre and post game crew for Fox baseball is just phenomenal. Like you got A-Rod, Frank Thomas,
The best. Yeah.
they're, like David Ortiz, they're phenomenal. I mean, they're great. I mean, ESPN, like I know people like don't like Matt Vescursion. I don't either. I'm not his biggest fan anymore. I feel like he just gone down. I feel like he hasn't been as good since he got to ESPN. That's just my opinion on it, though.
If we're going that route, as far as like looking at broadcasters who aren't as good as they used to be, you got to look at a guy like Michael Kay. I mean, dude, no one has declined more in the past couple of years than Michael Kay. If you want to say like Vescursion's kind of been on the decline, I think Kay might be a little bit worse. I'm just saying. But then again, he gets promoted. He gets promoted to the new gig on ESPN. Meanwhile, Vescursion, I think he's still doing the Angel stuff, but he's off of Sunday Night Baseball. So
yeah,
I don't know.
But like I love Michael Kay. Like he's been one of my idols since I was a kid. But you're right. I mean, he has declined a little bit, like in recent years. If you look like back, like as we were talking about, prime A-Rod in the 2000s, those were like awesome calls from Michael Kay on A-Rod home runs. Like at the time, now I just feel like he doesn't have much energy. But a guy I do love is Ryan Ruocco.
Oh yeah, bro, Ruocco is the man. I've said for so long I would love for Ruocco to call like half of the yes games because I feel like we only really get to see Ruocco do the games that like Kay doesn't really want to either A, stay up late for, or B, do in general. Like we usually see Ruocco do like some of the West Coast trips, maybe Minnesota, but I don't know. I think that Ruocco is just top notch, and if the Yankees don't really find a way to utilize him sometime soon, he's going to go somewhere else and get like a full-time serious gig as like a play-by-play announcer, because my thoughts on it is that as long as Ruocco stays with the Yes Network, I think that he's going to take over for John Sterling once John Sterling eventually retires. And then eventually once Kay goes, then Ruocco will be the guy on Yes Network. But that's a long time away, and I don't know if he'll get a full-time opportunity before then.
I mean, I don't know when John Sterling would retire. Like I don't even know what that, but Michael K, I'd assume he's Michael K has a lot in him still. Like I think he's gonna continue going. But Ruco's the man though. Like I rock with him a lot. But yeah, like just like I feel like Fox Sports and like yes, like they're good, but ESPN is just like a disaster when it comes to baseball. Like just straight up disaster. Like you don't even like if you go onto like ESPN, like they don't even like promote baseball that much. Like the last baseball related Instagram post on the ESPN, like on ESPN or Sports Center, I forgot which account was that the Dodgers got eliminated from the playoffs. And that was in when was that? November?
Dude, it's not even ESPN's coverage of baseball. It's just ESPN in general. The way that they've fallen off the face of the earth, I want to say within like the last like 5 to 10 years is disastrous. I don't know about you guys, but like when I was like younger in elementary school, like dude, the first thing I would watch before school every morning was Sports Center. Like that. That's exactly because MLB Network wasn't even around then. I don't think MLB Network started until like 2009 or something like that. So, bro, before school, you put on ESPN, see all the sports highlights for the day. They would have like baseball tonight at night. And now it just seems like you couldn't pay me to watch ESPN, bro. I think the only time I'd ever watch ESPN is if it was on like a TV in a restaurant or at the airport. That's the only time I have my eyes on ESPN.
Yeah, but like me and Brandon, like growing up, like we had like Quick Pitch in the morning on MLB Network. Yeah. Like that was what I watched every morning before school. I watched but dude, like I'd honestly rather go watch like people on YouTube and like listen to podcasts than watch ESPN. Like they just completely fell off.
No, dude, and that's exactly like why you're starting to see that this isn't only in the baseball world / Yankee world. This is in like the media world in general, bro. People are turning off their TV and they're going to YouTube. They're listening to podcasts. They're reverting to digital media just because, bro, traditional media is just not the wave anymore. It's just not. Like
I can't like watch ESPN anymore. I mean, just the programs have just gone off the face of the earth. I mean, they're just not good. And like even MLB Network isn't the greatest anymore. I mean, they fired Ken Rosenthal for no reason.
Yeah. Terrible.
Like, that was just a bad move. But moving off that topic, like back to like what we were talking about before, position wise, like the Yankees need to fix their outfield. Well, what do? Like, I know you have something to say about the Yankees outfield, Patrick, regarding Brett Gardner. What do you have to say
here? This is now we're getting to the fun stuff. Listen, I'm gonna say this. I'll keep it nice and generous, I guess. Right, Brett Gardner. Listen, dude, solid Yankee in his career. Wasn't great, wasn't bad. He was just average. I think that's the way I describe him. He's not the legend that everyone makes him out to be. If he gets a plaque in Monument Park, I'll be sick to my stomach. If he gets his number retired, I'll be sick to my stomach. But I think it's safe to say his time as a Yankee is over and has been over for a couple of years now. However, while I say that, do I think the Yankees are still going to bring him back for 2022? Yes. I'm almost certain that Brett Gardner will be back as a Yankee in 2022. And it's as simple as Brett Gardner will remain a Yankee as long as he wants to remain a Yankee, which is not something I agree with and is not something that the Yankees have ever really done in the past with any other player besides Derek Jeter maybe. But it's a shame because you look at the Yankees outfield and they have so much room for growth. Right. Especially in that center field spot where they kind of seem like they've been below average for a couple of years now, relying on Aaron Hicks to stay healthy. And when he doesn't stay healthy, you have Brett Gardner always as the backup. So now going into the 2022 season, we're probably going to look at the same thing. You're going to look at Hicks going into the season, likely being counted on as a starter, with Brett Gardner probably being the fourth outfielder. Then you got Gallo in left, Judge in right. It's probably what they're going to roll with once again. And should they? No. There's other options out there. There's other guys in the minor leagues. Maybe give Esteban Florial a shot as the fourth outfielder. Maybe Ender Inciarte gets a shot as a fourth outfielder. Maybe you go and acquire someone else. I don't know, but all I do know is that if you go out and acquire some legitimate center fielder, so you don't really have that question mark this season, and you make Aaron Hicks the fourth outfielder, especially with his injury concerns, I think that is the best possible scenario. But to go into another season with Brett Gardner on the Yankees roster, despite being awful the past couple seasons, it makes no sense. And it is treating a man who was never a Yankee legend as one of the greatest of all time. Bro, give him the A-Rod treatment, because A-Rod, who, like we mentioned before, one of the greatest Yankees of all time, best Yankees third baseman of all time in my eyes. They forced him into retirement midway through the 2016 season, 4 home runs away from 700 in a season where they weren't competing for a playoff spot. So if you're going to continue bringing back Brett Gardner to waste a roster spot every single season in a World Series window, you can't do that. It's disgraceful.
100% right. I mean, I don't see where you're wrong, but I know, Brandon, I know you seem to like Aaron Hicks a lot when it comes to the outfield. So we got someone who doesn't like Brett Gardner, someone who doesn't like Aaron Hicks. I'm not a big Aaron Hicks guy to begin with either, but like
Aaron Hicks is washed. He's been washed since he left Minnesota.
Thank you.
Here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing. This is why I can make an argument for Hicks over Gardner, which I think is a very easy one if you want to do that. Aaron Hicks has a 10 times higher ceiling than Brett Gardner, at least at this stage in their career, right? Worst case scenario with Hicks, he'll get hurt. Okay, then you just go out and get someone else. Worst case with Gardner? Well, I would say best case with Gardner. He's on the field batting like 220. That's probably best case scenario at this point, dude. I get it, bro. It's that veteran leadership. But at this stage in the game, with 2022 possibly being the last year to have a playoff opportunity with this core, I'm talking Gary Sanchez, Luis Severino, Aaron Judge, Gleyber Torres, Gary Sanchez, all on the same team. You cannot bring back Brett Gardner.
Yep.
Just saying. I think the ceiling of Gardner is much, much lower than that of Hicks.
You're right. I think you're right. Because this is the World Series window, as you mentioned. Like, Judge is due for an extension soon. I think they're going to extend him. I'm not worried about that whatsoever. But this is where the Yankees need to win. Like, you have years where you messed it up. Like 17, you got cheated. 18, I don't even know what happened there. 19, just heartbreak. 20 again, and then last year was just an utter disgrace. So you can't just keep bringing Brett Gardner back. You got to let Florial get a shot. He's wasting his career away in the minors, or even just look to the market. I mean, for example, Seiya Suzuki from Japan, stud.
Yeah,
I would love that. Homie, he reminds me of Matsui, just the way he plays. He's the big bat, power bat. But Brandon, what are we thinking for the outfield here? Because I know you don't like Hicks, and I know you. I mean, should we bring back Gardner in your eyes? I don't know. Like I personally want it.
Yankees are gonna bring him back. I just want to wait for Dominguez.
The man, bro.
Dude,
That's
we
gonna
got a couple years for that.
Yeah, we gotta wait a little bit. We got some time.
We're gonna struggle until Dominguez comes up.
Yep. Let me tell you one thing about Dominguez, and let me give you guys my input as far as like Jason Dominguez goes, and why I'm personally not waiting on him to come up to the Bronx. First of all, okay, I am not a person who gets ridiculously hype on prospects until we start seeing them do, I want to say, perform at a solid level as they rise in the minor leagues. Okay. What was the highest level we saw Jason Dominguez in 2021? What was it? Like high A, I think.
Single A, yeah, high A.
Maybe high A, I believe, could be wrong. But regardless, I'm not getting excited about him until we start to see him putting up numbers in either double A or triple A, like Anthony Volpe, bro. He's one who I'm starting to get excited about because we're actually starting to see him produce. And he's probably about a year away, maybe less. I don't know. But I'm not going to start counting on guys like Jason Dominguez. And also the other guy that the Yankees signed, the international free agent a couple of days ago, 17, I think last name Arias, maybe.
Oh,
Shortstop.
yeah.
He's another one who I'm not really getting too excited about, bro. I see people on Twitter again going crazy, so excited about this. I don't get excited about prospects until they actually prove themselves. And until Jason Dominguez actually proves himself at a high level, I'm not counting on him being the savior of the Yankees outfield.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind Dominguez. I mean, like, I think if everything goes right, he's going to be a stud. But as you mentioned,
that's
like,
the key, though.
Yeah,
everything
needs to go right. Like,
yeah,
with prospects, you never know. Like, I think Volpe's gonna be a star when he comes here eventually. Like that Carlos Correa, Anthony Volpe, and LeMahieu and Matt Olson infield is about to be generational 2 years from now. That is about to be something else. But like one last thing before we leave here, like this year and even in the future. Brandon, I'll ask you this one first. What do we do with Gleyber Torres? Like, this is tough.
Get rid of him.
Really?
Ship him off somewhere because I'm tired of him. He sucks. And people are going to hate me for this. Some people are like Gleyber Torres fanboys. I can't stand this man. Right?
Really?
every time we go to Yankee Stadium, he either has an error, doesn't get a hit,
That's
just
true.
strikes out. Mans gets the ball and throws it into the freaking the dugout. Like, I can't stand him anymore. And people are gonna be pissed that I'm saying that. But you know what? Enough.
I understand that. I'm not the biggest Glaber enthusiast on the planet anymore. But Pat, what are your thoughts on this? I'm not the biggest fan of Glaber at the moment, but you got to rock on the former year, I think.
Listen, here's the thing about Gleyber Torres, right? After 2019, we expected the world from him, right, dude? You look at 2019 Gleyber Torres, bro. He was unreal. Maybe because of the juice balls. I don't know. Maybe they bring them back for 2022. Gleyber Torres will be a stud again. But I think the biggest downfall of Gleyber came in 2020 when he had to become the Yankee shortstop. And I know originally in the minor leagues, he was coming up as a shortstop, but I don't think that's necessarily who he is. And I think that is kind of realized in the organization now. Gleyber Torres is a second baseman, and he will be the Yankees second baseman moving forward. We saw how much he improved moving to second base last year. He was atrocious at shortstop, and that affected his offensive numbers as well. And then once he moved to second base, we saw those numbers go up a little bit. So honestly, going into 2022, I'm looking at Gleyber Torres with a clean slate. I'm viewing him the same way I viewed Gary Sanchez going into 2021. I'm viewing him with a clean slate. I'm not really taking anything that he did in the past couple seasons into account because he's basically a new player, right? We're basically looking at 2019 Gleyber Torres. He's going to be starting the season at second base. All he has to worry about is playing second base, a position that he's very comfortable in. And I think because of that, we're going to see his offensive numbers. He's probably never going to hit 40 home runs. He's probably not that 40 home run hitter that people thought he was after 2019. But if Gleyber Torres could bat maybe 275, 280 with 25 home runs in a season, I think we'll all be satisfied by that. And I think that would be the Yankees' ideal situation for him right now.
Yeah, and like I hope he rebounds, but like I'm willing to give him like one more chance. Like if he doesn't perform this year, like
he gets another year for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think so. But like Gary Sanchez, as I mentioned last year, I was like, one more time. I'm kind of done with Gary Sanchez, but there's nothing else we could do at this point. Who we get? Like,
Sanchez is a lazy catcher, but a great hitter.
Well, when he's on, he's on. When he's on, he's on.
About Gary Sanchez,
he's on.
Listen, we have Gary Sanchez being the topic right now. There's one thing that I hate to see on Twitter. There's something that pisses me off beyond belief, bro. People that call. Listen, Brand, I know this is not what you meant when you just said this, but people who call Gary Sanchez lazy and fat. That is the worst. Bro, those are the worst tweets, the worst people that I've ever seen in my life. To look at Gary Sanchez, okay, and to even think that man is fat, you're psychotic. And to even think that man is lazy, you're psychotic. Okay, from what we've heard behind the scenes and whatnot, Gary Sanchez is one of the hardest workers in the Yankees clubhouse. I know defensively, it doesn't really seem like that all the time. Bro, he has mental miscues. Like what are you going to do? But to completely shred up this man's well-being, Yankee fans are weird, bro. And no matter what way you want to look at it, you have so many people out there being like, yo, start Higashioka.
Oh, no,
bro. It's actually weird how much the Yankees fan base hates Gary Sanchez. When the way you look at it, bro, I still view Gary Sanchez as a top 10 catcher in baseball. Even though his defense is awful, even though his offense isn't what it used to be, there are very few catchers in the game that are available that I would prefer to have on my team. And while I don't think Gary Sanchez is the Yankees catcher of the future anymore, especially with Wells and Siegler and a bunch of other bright young catchers in the minor leagues, I think that for now, it's not the worst possible scenario to have. The Yankees could be stuck with Kyle Higashioka as their starting catcher. And yeah, I'm just sick and tired of people criticizing Gary for just stupid things that have no impact on the game.
Yeah, like same here. I mean, but the people who piss me off, like Higashioka people. Oh, we started him once and look where it didn't work. It worked for like 2 games and people praised the living daylights out of Aaron Boone. Didn't work. And then the last thing that I just don't stand is just the people who just constantly rip Joey Gallo. Every time he steps to the plate, people just rip him the shirt. I don't understand it. Like Brandon, I know you're a big fan of Joey Gallo though. Like especially when he came here, bro. Like you saw him in Texas and all that. Like,
is that sarcastic? Does he hate him?
No, he actually is a fan of Joey Gallo. Like,
okay.
So here's my story with Gallo. I saw him when
it's a good story.
When he was a Texas Ranger, I would say I think this was in the summer, right before he got traded.
That was in like June. I think that was like in June. I think.
Yeah, in like June because. Oh yes, it was on Father's Day.
Yeah, it was on Father's Day. You went.
So yeah, it was June Father's Day. Me and my dad, and my little brother, we're trying to do every MLB stadium. So it was Texas this time. So we did the Astros and we did the Rangers. And when we went to Arlington for the Rangers, it was dope or whatever. We sat right behind Gallo. And this was before any of like the trade rumors were out about him being a Yankee. And I was telling everybody around us, I was like, you see him? He's gonna be a Yankee. I just felt it. And no, everybody was like, what are you, like smoking crack or something? Like, you're dumb. He's not gonna be a Yankee. I was like, watch. By the end of the season, he's gonna be a Yankee. All of a sudden, Gallo comes up to bat. He hits a home run, massive home run right over my head into the second deck, at Globe Life Field or Park, wherever it's called now. And then, so the girls that were sitting right behind us ended up following me and CJ on the 4 line. Shout out to you if you still watch these videos. I mean, that's pretty cool. But so basically, Gallo gets traded, and I'm like, see, I knew this was gonna happen or whatever. And the post that we make on the 4 line, she comments on it. The person that followed, she was like, "Wow, you were right. Like, I can't believe you said that in Texas he was gonna be a Yankee, and he ended up being a Yankee." He was like, "You got like magic powers or whatever." But it was cool. You know, I felt that he was gonna be a Yankee, so that's why I've always been drawn to Gallo. It's like, oh, I predicted that. Like,
so basically, you have sources, is what you're telling me.
I was just gonna say, like,
basically, I should become Jeff Passan.
You are better. He is better than Jeff Passan. Like, he is like Brian Cashman's like main man, like with all the news. Like, he knew this months in advance, and he said this various times too before it even happened. Like,
I kept saying it.
You kept saying it weeks and weeks, and when it actually happened, I remember like you lost your mind.
Bro, I jumped in the pool like in full clothes.
Yeah, I remember that. That was quite the experience. I love Joey Gallo. I'm Italian, so Joey Gallo's my man. Like, and
Joey Gallo's the dude, bro.
Joey Gallo is the man.
You know, it's weird because it seems like Yankee fans always need like that one person to just rip to shreds every season, right? 2020, I guess it was Gary. Kind of deserved though. 2021, it was definitely Joey Gallo. I think that he was the guy that Yankees fans just despised. I get he's not the most fun player to watch sometimes, bro. It's the 3 true outcomes, right? Home run, walk, strikeout. Like, that's what he's gonna do, bro.
Exactly.
And I don't know why Yankee fans don't realize that he's not gonna bat 350. But I do think we're gonna see a significant upgrade in Joey Gallo's numbers for 2022. I think he's gonna be comfortable in the Bronx now. I think they're gonna find a solid spot to put him in the batting order. I don't think they're gonna keep switching him up and down.
Bat him lead off.
Maybe
that would be dope. I love it. Love it.
It would be a solid idea.
Bat him lead off.
But whatever they do with him, I think that they should have it be consistent. If you're going to have him be the leadoff guy, have him be that leadoff guy for maybe a month. And if it's not working out, then switch it after that. But yeah, I'm tired of people ripping on all these Yankees for no reason, bro. It's annoying. Just get over yourselves.
Especially like Joey Gallo batting leadoff with the OPS that he puts up every year would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Like, I would love that, but the Yankees can easily build around these guys. I mean, because the big deadline acquisitions were Gallo and Rizzo. We all knew this. But now you got to make those big offseason acquisitions because we have Gallo for another year. You got to put guys around these dudes. Because Gallo, when he's on, he's on. He's dangerous when he's hot. And he was on like that massive
carry lineup.
Yeah, like Brandon, when you went to the game in June, he was on like a massive hot streak at the time. He was carrying that team. And that's what he could do when he's on. Like, he reminds me like somewhat of Giancarlo with the home runs that this guy hits when he's on. Like when everything's working for him. And
another guy who Yankees fans used to hate.
Bro, I'm one of them. I will come clean. I never, like, when I say something, like, I don't say, oh, I never did that. Like I ripped Giancarlo Stanton for quite some time.
Why though?
Now you see his jersey in my background. I what upset me was the just being the DH all the time and the health
never his fault.
The health concerns were like annoying. That wasn't his fault. I won't put that on him. That's what like that made me upset because like, oh, I could never see Giancarlo play, and I love the guy. But the other thing, like just when he was slumping for a bit in like 2018 and was it 19? That's when like
Meanwhile,
that's when I got frustrated. I was like,
the
oh
man
man,
threw
like
you your first freaking baseball.
what'd you say?
Meanwhile,
yeah.
the man
He threw me my first baseball back in September. So I'd say the moment where like I truly like gained like a crap ton of respect for Giancarlo and I like became one of his bigger fans was like during this season when he hit that home run against the Astros in May, like the Astros first game in the Bronx where he hit like a tank in the first inning. And then that thing with Lindor and Citi Field, that had me like hyped as hell. Like I was like, dude, I love Giancarlo Stanton. The following week throws me a baseball, he takes a dump on the killed the Red Sox that series in Fenway. And I'm telling you, if the Green Monster did not exist, the Yankees won that wild card game. He took away 2 home runs, bro.
Probably, but I mean, also like the thing is, Giancarlo Stanton. A lot of people don't realize this. He was never bad with the Yankees. I know.
I just realized that. Yep.
A lot of people forget that he carried the Yankees during that summer when Judge got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2019, he was injured. Okay, he only played a handful of games in 2019. 2020, he had injury concerns as well. Bro, ever since the 2020 postseason, he absolutely carried that Yankees team. He almost carried them through the ALDS. And then all of 2021, the Yankees probably wouldn't even make the wild card. I wouldn't even say they probably wouldn't have. There's zero chance the Yankees make the wild card game in 2021 if it's not for Giancarlo.
Exactly.
He carried them on that 6-game road trip to end the season. He carried them in so many other games throughout the regular season, bro. There's no denying that Giancarlo Stanton has been the most valuable player on the Yankees for not only the 2021 regular season, but also the 2020 postseason.
Yeah, I thought he was by far the MVP of the Yankees last year. By far.
For sure.
Like people are like, oh yeah, Judge with a great season. I'll give him. I love Aaron Judge. I love Aaron Judge. I'm like Dan when it comes to Aaron Judge. I love that man with like him and Garrett Cole, like are my main guys. Like I love those dudes. But Giancarlo was easily the MVP of the Yankees last year, and
yeah,
he could replicate that again. And just I found myself in school the other day watching. I said I really don't watch baseball highlights that much. I came across Giancarlo Stanton every home run from last year. I'm just watching him at like 400-foot shots like the entire class. I'm like, damn, like. Dude was good, man. He is that guy. So there is a lot of expectations for the Yankees this year. But hey, we were able to have a good discussion with not a lot of baseball going on, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So there's always creativity out there. I mean, like there's nothing going on, and it's unfortunate there's nothing going on because like this is the time of year where everyone's like, let's go. Like spring training's like it's almost here. Like there's almost spring training. Like for me, it's like every year after Christmas, I'm like, all right, baseball's like. We're approaching baseball. Like we're making our way towards the spring training. Now we're just like, we're stuck. I'm like, well, I don't know what to expect here. I'm like, the Yankees put out the thing for opening day tickets. I'm like, well, that would be nice, but I actually hope that opening day happens. Like, it's just rough. But Brandon, any thoughts to close it out here before we go about the lockout? I know you're big. Anything to say to Rob Manfred because I know you're a big Rob Manfred fan.
Robert Bobbert Manfred, I hate your guts. Please just come to an agreement already. Like this is making everybody not want to watch baseball or even be interested in it. Like I don't even get interested in it no more because of how much BS is filled with the sport.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say just come to an agreement already. It's not that big of a deal. Have a season. Because right now, like even though the Yankees opening day tickets go on sale tomorrow, like the pre-sale or whatever it is, I'm not even excited for it, to be honest. It's just like, all right, whatever. Like I'm going to buy my ticket, but like I don't really care.
I mean, once I'm guaranteed, like once everything is guaranteed that I'll be there, like opening day is actually happening, then that's when I'll get excited again. Like knowing, like right now I'm just sad. I miss it. Like I miss going to the games. I miss watching on TV. I miss having to talk about games. But at the end of the day, like when this all, like hopefully when this all is resolved, hopefully soon, then things will be back to normal. I'll be excited about baseball again. I'll know for sure that I'll have a summer at Yankee Stadium because right now I don't know what's going on. I don't even know if there's going to be a season. I'm one of the optimists here, though. I'm like, all right, we're going to have a season. But in reality, who knows at this point? It's just who has any idea? And it's sad, and it's just driving away 50-50 baseball fans. And this is all on Rob Manfred. Like, I wouldn't say it's all on Rob Manfred, this whole lockout, but Rob Manfred is one of the big reasons of why baseball is just being the grave is just being dug for baseball right now, primarily because of Rob Manfred. But Pat, anything you'd like to say before we close this out here? And would you like to I'll let you, like, if you want, just shout out your channel and all that fun stuff so people could find you. I'll plug you in like the comments and all that fun stuff.
If anybody wants to come find me on YouTube, Unhinged Yankees, Twitter at Unhinged Patrick, Instagram at True Hennessy. Do what you want to do. Follow me if you want. But I guess the last thing I kind of want to say here, I guess in regards to the lockout, is the worst thing in the world would not for there to be a delay in spring training. To be honest with you, dude, like if there was a shortened spring training this year, I'd be cool with it. Not a big fan of spring training anyway. So as long as opening day starts on time, that's all that matters. If there's a little like shortened spring training, that's cool. But listen, just get baseball on the field by opening day, and then everyone will be happy. That's all that really matters.
Mm-hmm. And that is truly what matters at the end of the day. But thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. It was a very fun time. Thank you for coming on. Great discussion. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you don't hit the subscribe button, you definitely support the baseball lockout. But anyway, signing off, it's CJ.
Good job, amigo Brandon.
All right, everybody. Have a great day. Let's go Yanks, and let's just hope the lockout ends soon.